Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. If you're a first-time listener, thank you for stopping by. I am your host, Josh Lilquist, with my good friend and my good pal, and he is the one and the only Mr. Al Connickson. Al, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, Josh. How about you?
I'm always doing fantastic. It's always a good time doing the show on the financial markets, helping our listeners make smarter and more intelligent investing decisions. And that's what the market is all about, is being able to make smart investing decisions. And as a matter of fact, I was teaching a class last night, and a lot of people think the markets are gambling. Well, that is true if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have steps or rules within that strategy, and then you're not making smart decisions. You're just guessing in the markets. So I want to discuss that today, how to make those smart investing decisions. As we know, our sponsor, Trading Academy, on their 28th year, teaching people just like you how to invest, how to trade. Whether you're in the market for income strategies or it's 401k strategies, retirement, IRAs, whether you're brand new to the markets and don't know a stock from a stick, or you're a seasoned investor, but you're just looking for more consistency in those accounts. So they have strategies and techniques designed strictly for you. Al, as I mentioned, these markets, it's always fun to talk about it, but especially when markets are really at all-time highs. Once again, you see the S&P 500 surpassing the $5,747 per on the S&P 500. NASDAQ hasn't gotten up to the all-time highs, but we're very close. It's surging again. The Dow Jones, this one also reaches all-time highs. But what's really interesting about this, Al, is you look at your quote-unquote safe havens or whatever that may be, but it's almost a little bit of the opposite. You got gold and silver also, with gold reaching all-time highs. Silver not quite, but gold sitting around the 2,670 mark, depending on when you're listening to the show. As we know, this is show played all across the country and the world.
Silver, those would be more inversely correlated.
You would expect that, right? So that's the whole inverse correlation, and the safe haven when markets go down, those go up, has kind of been the opposite. So you can't just guess off of that stuff. You have silver looking at around $32.15. So that's really been surging from about 26 back in August. So we're seeing some phenomenal opportunities in the markets. Bitcoin up to over 65,000 again. You have Nvidia, which is starting to surge back up again. So certain stocks are going up, but certain stocks are also going down. You look at some stocks that some people know about. You have, we'll say, I think one was, what was it here? I was just looking at it. Kohl's, I believe it was, hasn't been doing too hot. Down to $19 per share. And people still go use some Kohl's cash. So there's opportunities in up markets, and there's also opportunities in down markets. Let's discuss that today. What are some of the opportunities that you're seeing in multiple directions?
Well, there's always opportunities, Josh. It really doesn't make any difference what direction the market is going. And this is an exciting market that we've been seeing. This is the kind of market where you really want to take advantage of what's available. Boost your returns. Don't just take what's average, and because at some point in time there will be a pullback in the market. You want to make sure that you're not impacted as much by that as a lot of people would be. But I think what we're seeing is an erratic, unpredictable market, and that means that more than ever people have to know what they're doing. But if it's unpredictable, you need to find something that is predictable. And what is that? Because there's one thing that never changes and never has, and it never will, and that's what impacts price or who impacts price. And if you can understand that, if you can follow that, what's going to happen is it's going to have you buying low and selling high. And everybody understands that that's what they should do. The strange, ironic thing is that the public does, for the most part, exactly the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, if you think about it, they're just buying every other Friday, especially in those retirement accounts.
With a retirement account, you are. Exactly. But people that go into the market, that we have, you just went over, where the markets are right now. All the major markets, they're at all-time highs or near all-time highs, which means what? Well, typically when markets peak out, that could be the riskiest time for people to get in. And that's when we see a lot of the public that hasn't been in the market get into the market. So typically, you're buying high. And if you use a proper strategy, it may actually kind of go against what you instinctually feel you should do.
Instinctually?
So, pardon me?
Instinctually?
Instinctually,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
You
a
heard
nice
that
one.
word before.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad I threw that in there.
Thank you.
But what it means is that a strategy might have you doing the opposite of what you think you should do, in keeping it in simple terms. So when other people are buying, maybe the best thing to do would be getting ready to sell. When other people are selling, maybe the best thing to do is to be getting ready to buy.
And
who follows that? Who's a big name person that does exactly what I just said? It's Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett will say, "Get
Uncle
greedy."
Warren, we call him.
Well, yeah, there's Uncle. Yeah. Get greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy, which is exactly what our strategy teaches you how to do. And let's just keep it simple and follow the people that are actually impacting price, because that's really the only important thing. If you are going to take a position, what we'll call a long position, you buy something, what has to happen to the price for you to benefit? It has to go up. And the inverse happens, the opposite happens when you're selling. You want the price to go down. Well, somebody's causing that to happen. If you can find who that is and when they do it, you have a huge leg up. You have the odds that take this out of gambling and make it something that is more reliable.
Yeah, which is a strategy.
And
what Al is referring to as well is most people get into the market without that strategy and just hope things work out. And that's why sometimes people struggle. And if you're looking for that strategy, you're looking for more consistency, you need steps and odds and rules within between that. And then you just got to follow it. And that's one of the big things that Trading Academy teaches. We're a worldwide company. We're an academy local here in Bloomington. We have offices and academies all across the world, most major city in the U.S. and a few different other countries as well. So teaching people just like you worldwide how to trade and invest, but most of have a strategy, becoming confident in the markets. So I want to invite you to be introduced to this strategy, be introduced to how the markets work, how they function, and how to make smart investing decisions simply by just coming into an investing class. So get your phones ready, because if you're driving, you might want to pull over. I'm going to give you a text number to text in for some tickets for an investing class here in Bloomington. These classes are about 2 hours, and during the day and evenings, also on the weekends. So text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now for 2 seats for an investing class. That's one for you and a friend. Text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats, and then you can pick your own date on the link that you're going to receive in a text back. Also, you can go to investingandtradinglive.com and pick your own date there. Now, we got a lot more to discuss on that strategy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how to have a strategy for all-time highs. This is Josh and Al. We will be right back.